What an incredible speech. Ladies and gentlemen, did you see what Malcolm did tonight? Malcolm, when I look at your speech, I think of a very energetic, entertaining, and impactful speech. Thank you. What an amazing time I had listening to Malcolm's speech. I want to congratulate you because you left an impact with me tonight. And as I present an evaluation for Malcolm tonight, I want you to understand this is my vision, the way that I look at speaking, the way that I want to criticize or evaluate Malcolm's speech. More importantly, I'm going to demonstrate my evaluation with a technique called the sandwich technique. I'm going to provide something positive, something that Malcolm potentially could work on, and something positive so he doesn't run out of the room and never come back. So it's very important that you understand this technique. Did you see how incredible Malcolm's voice projection was? I sat there, and as Malcolm got in front of the lectern, he stood there, and as his mouth opened and he started speaking, it was incredible. He forced me, and I'm sure that I can speak on behalf of other members of the audience, forced us to listen. Very, very well done. However, I felt that I saw some things that potentially you could improve on. And remember, this is the way that I look at public speaking. When Malcolm spoke, he had some really great gestures. At one point, he speaks about the little kid Desmond picking out a French fry. So you see like a little hand coming out and actually picking the French fry. I think that was very meaningful. However, I think if your hands are constantly here as you're speaking, you're making little notes, it doesn't become meaningful anymore. It becomes distracting. And because you're such a talented speaker, or since he is such a talented speaker, I feel that with silent hands, as he speaks, and creating impact when he needs to create impact, he can even be better. Also, what I liked is that Malcolm had great eye contact. Did you guys see that? Did you feel incorporated into the speech as he moved around the room? Sometimes I felt, as he positioned himself in front of the lectern, that he was giving the cold shoulder to Jordan in this case, or the cold shoulder to Chris. Perhaps for next time, Malcolm, you can move the lectern back, take a step back, and make your time so much easier as you now have the room to rotate and actually give the audience the attention that they deserve. Furthermore, what I really liked is that he had a steady stance. He's so rock solid when he stood there. Did you guys see that? He stood there. It showed confidence. It was rock solid. I felt moved by Malcolm's story. And like Desmond, Malcolm took a piece of my heart today. Mr. Contes, sir.
The only certainty, Nick Vanderbilt.
Oftentimes, as a child, I wondered, what is my place in life? What am I really doing here? Nowadays, I often ask myself, when I argue with my wife, why is she always right? Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot answer the questions you seek meaning of. However, with my 25 years of life experience, I did manage to answer one of life's most predominant questions. And no matter where I've traveled to, or who I spoke to, the answer was always the same. In fact, I guarantee that this is the only certainty. Everybody in this room, including myself, at one point, is going to die. Your heart is going to stop beating. You're going to be out of this world forever. Mr. Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and everybody else is about to die. Today I'm going to share my story and how my dad passed away when I was younger and how it affected my life dramatically. And after my presentation, I want you to be affected by his passing as well. In order to tell you my story, I have to take you all the way across the Atlantic to a small country situated above Belgium, next to Germany, called the Netherlands. And life in the Netherlands was actually pretty good at 17. I didn't have any worries. I didn't have bills to worry about. Actually, there were two things on my mind: school and disrupting my parents' peace and quiet. It was very successful, the latter. In fact, life was so relaxing. I woke up in the morning, I put food in my belly, I would go to school, attempt to study, come home at night, and I'd go back to sleep, to wake up the next day and do it all over again. And if you ask me if I had ambitions, of course I had ambitions. I would watch those Hollywood blockbuster movies, pretend to be that foreign exchange student all girls liked, even sit on a Greyhound bus, go state to state or province to province. But realistically, my goals pertain to drinking beers on Fridays and Saturdays and hitting on as many girls as possible. This seemingly pleasant life got disrupted, all by the hands of a single phone call. And as my phone rang, I remember I picked it up and I heard a woman cry on the other end of the line. That was my sister. And my sister goes, "Nick, it's Dad. He had a heart attack. He's in the hospital." And within 6 months of that call, my dad had several heart attacks, surgeries, was diagnosed with cancer, passed away. I was 17. Something changed that day when I lost my dad. Something inside of me changed. And I'm not talking how broken my heart felt or how unbalanced my mind was. No, I'm referring to something different. It's like an internal clock was now embedded in my brain. And the only thing that I could think of at night while I laid in bed was, I try to flip it. I try to be positive. As one door closed, my dad passing, another door opened. Motivation. As members of the audience, I'm sure you're wondering, how did Nick get so positive? His dad just passed away. The answer to that question is simple. Mathematics. The average life expectancy of a Dutch male is 80.4 years. If you're not good at math, I'll take you through this, don't worry. I was 17 at the time. Let's say 80 minus 17 is 63 years to live. Express that in months is 750 months to live. Until I was just like my dad. If cancer didn't get me, if heart disease didn't get me. And I started thinking about that. How would it be to not do anything anymore? To be dead? Besides being very uncomfortable, this is really scary. So it kicked me right into gear. I wanted to do something with my life. I understood that if I wanted something, I couldn't wait till tomorrow. Next week wasn't going to cut it, and certainly next month was way too late. If I wanted something, I had to act on it now. I'm 25 years old today. In a mere 110 months, I graduated from college and university. I traveled. I was that cool exchange student everybody liked. At least I thought I was. I traveled on Greyhound buses. I met amazing people. And you know what else I did? I managed to foster the courage to join a public speaking group that built my capacity for speaking. Did I mention I had fear of public speaking at 17? You have one life. Live it the best you can. If you want something, if you want to meet someone, act now. Tomorrow is going to be way too late. I have 660 months to live. How many do you have left? Mr. Chair.